Hi, everybody. We hope you're doing well. We continue to pray for you and trust that even during these uncertain times, God is one of our certainties, and God has things that He continues to want to teach us. I want to think about your life. I want you to think about the things that you do, whether it's school, whether it's work, the things that you're working towards, the dreams that you have, the things that you're saving up for, the things that really cause you to work hard. Why do you do the things that you do? It's a question we keep coming back to, but it really helps us understand our hearts as well as the motivations behind why we're living the life that we're living. And, I remember when Patty and I first got married, we didn't have a lot of money, but, we worked hard. We were able to make ends meet. And every once in a while, you just want to treat yourself, right? You just want something a little nicer, like a little special. Like this shirt I have on, it was completely free, right? I didn't have to work hard for it at all, except pay for a couple dollars of shipping. But there's sometimes you just want something that's a little more expensive, right? Like a little nicer, and even something that will last a little longer. And so we'd go shopping sometimes, not a lot. We're not big shoppers, but I remember once we were in the mall and we went by the Gap. I think it was the Gap. And they had, really cool jeans. And I know jean styles have changed, but back then, slightly tight and stretchy jeans, that was cool. Sort of like skinny jeans, but we didn't know skinny yet at that point. And but they were expensive, right? They were like $80 jeans plus tax. And we thought, we'd really like these. These are really cool. They're comfortable. We'd look so nice. We don't have $160 plus tax for us to buy each a pair of jeans. But the problem is, if you bought those stretchy Gap jeans, you would need cool shoes too, which we didn't have cool shoes. So we started looking around and we thought, those jeans would look so cool with some Doc Martens. And of course, Doc Martens are not cheap either, probably at least give or take $100 or more. So we thought, we just can't do it. That's like $400 for 2 Docs and 2 pairs of jeans. And then we could look cool. But it just was something that we really wanted to work for. So we slowly saved our money, right? And I think we were getting close to Christmas and we had about enough money and we went and bought those cool jeans and then we bought those Doc Martens and we were cool. We were so cool. Or at least we thought we were cool. I don't know what other people thought, but we felt cool. We felt nice, right? When we wore it, we're like, these are the stretchy jeans. And yeah, our cool shoes, our cool Doc Martens. And then probably a year or two later, we moved to Indonesia. And if you've been in humid climates, or you could imagine that tight, stretchy jeans are not the best item of clothing to wear in a very humid environment. Doc Martens do not work very well in the tropics, right? And so those things that we work so hard for, back then that was more than half a month's rent for us. Basically, we just gave them away. We even saved the Docs for a little while, hoping that when we'd come back, they would be cool and still be cool. And clothes and everything goes out of style, but the Docs the leather just got so hard and it just they weren't worth it at all. And so many times in my life, I know I have worked so hard to save money, to get something. And in the end, it was enjoyable for a time maybe, but in the end, they wear out. They don't work anymore. They don't fit anymore. They go out of style, whatever it may be. And we just get rid of them or we give them away or possibly we even throw them away. Things that we worked so hard for that took so much money. Can you think with me that everything in life will fall apart except 1 or 2 things, right? Tangible, material things, everything will fall apart. This t-shirt will only last so far. The dresser behind me will eventually wear out. Our cars, no matter how nice of a car you have, it will wear out. And sometimes the more expensive cars wear out sooner than the cheaper Honda and Toyota cars. But nothing that we buy, shoes, homes, they wear out. So everything that we buy costs us something, but at the same time, they just wear out and they break and they don't fit, and whatever it is, we get rid of them. One of the only things that we invest in and we put time and effort in that would always increase is what Jesus calls treasures in heaven, or our eternity, or what your life will be like after you leave this planet, after we all die and we pass away and we go on to the next life. There is a way that Jesus begins to teach and helps us to understand that we will live for eternity, but our life there will somehow be impacted by our life here. And we want to read really quickly out of Matthew chapter 6. This is verse 19 through 21. Jesus starts talking about this idea or concept of treasures in heaven. And right after talking about prayer and fasting, Jesus says this: "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and rust will destroy, and where thieves can break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and rust do not destroy, where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And if we really want to know where our heart's at, look at the things that you are working for now. Are you saving up money for a new car? Are you saving up money to help family out? Are you trying to save for your first house? Or are you putting all of your effort into that degree that you're working on, or that license, or that certificate, or getting into a career? I mean, whatever it may be. And not all of those things are bad, but where our focus is, where our heart is drawn towards, those are the things that we treasure. Those are the things that we value. And what Jesus is basically saying is treasure the right things. Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. And so there's a way that we work now for things of eternity. And the question really has to become is, are we working as hard for things of eternity as we are for things of earth? Are we working as hard of letting people know about God and his message as we are of attaining that degree? Are we working as hard for becoming people who are holy, who are more like Jesus, as we are for purchasing that next big purchase, whatever it is? That we really have to be honest and fair with God, that sometimes we work a lot harder for things on earth than we do for the things of heaven. And all Jesus is trying to say is step back and look at your life and be honest and just ask yourselves, what are you working hard for? Because it's the worst to work hard and to save and to buy $400 worth of 2 pairs of pants and 2 pairs of shoes. You can't wear them every week, right? Because then you would sort of look foolish. You would be very not cool wearing your cool jeans and cool boots every week. So you got to spread them out a little bit. So even over the course of a year, you're not going to wear them all the time. And then a year or two later, you go to Indonesia and you got to get rid of them. A year or two later, you trip and fall and you rip those jeans, but that might be cool too, I know. But you get mud on them, that still might be cool. And something happens and eventually they just don't fit. Eventually they're worthless to you and you get rid of them. Maybe they're just out of style and we're back at baggy jeans again or boot cut jeans again. And you got to get rid of those $70, $80, $100, $200 pair of jeans because they just aren't the style anymore. We work so hard for things that really end up having no value for our lives. And Jesus says, work hard for the things that will bring value to your life, both here and after death in eternity. So the thing I hope that we could take away from Jesus' teaching today is just simply to look at our lives and look at the things that we work hard for, and to realize that we have the choice to work hard for things of faith, to work hard for things of eternity. And all we need to do is just say, are we working as hard or harder for things of God than we are of these other things? And I think as we do, it's not just about storing up treasures in heaven, it's about actually experiencing joy here on earth. And our heart and our soul will experience peace and joy like we've never experienced before, because I never really was satisfied by a pair of pants. I was never really satisfied by a car. I was never really satisfied by other material things that I could purchase, because at the beginning, you're excited about them. But as time goes on, they wear off. That newness. I mean, have you ever gotten a new pair of shoes and as soon as you start wearing them, you clean them, you scrub them to keep them nice and white or whatever color they are. But after they get a little dirty, then it's just like, whatever. I've had them for 6 months. That's okay. And you don't clean them anymore because it wears off. But really the peace that living for Jesus brings is something that would never wear off as long as we continue down that path. So I hope we could take these words to heart today. Store up treasures in heaven. Nobody could steal those from you. It won't wear out. It won't break. But almost everything we do here can. So use that wisdom from Jesus to influence the way that we live our day-to-day life, and just work hard for things of God. God bless.